Well, it's about 8:45 a.m. I just left Benan. That anchorage wasn't really very good. The wind kind of just blew straight up alongside the island, and there was no protection. And on top of that, there was a hell of a current in there. So I could hear it when I was sleeping. I mean, I can hear it rushing by, you know, the water rushing by, and there were like rips, tide rips, you know. So I wasn't very peaceful. Woke up this morning and looked behind me, and it was low tide, and the reef wasn't that far behind me either. I mean, it wasn't, you know, that close, but it was lurking. I could see it back there, and I kind of couldn't wait to get out of there. Ah, that's a hell of a rip, man. Wow. Current is fierce through here. Squalls. Approaching the entrance to this little, I don't know if you can call it a bay, I guess it's a channel, because it empties on the other side. I predict there's going to be a really strong current in there. We're coming up on the king tide, the full moon, in a couple days, and so the tides are getting bigger, and hence the current is getting stronger. So I'm hoping I can anchor securely in here. Leaving Renoh, I decided to go west towards an island called Moro, or a town called Moro. I'm not sure if that's the island name. And then 50 miles due north to Singapore Straits. So this is my final push, 2 days. A day to Moro, and then early tomorrow get up and try to make Malaysia. Seven knots through here. I'm flying with the current. I don't like this at all. 35 feet. These overfalls. That pass that I just went through, leaving Renoh, is really narrow, and it's shallow, like 30 feet. And then when it widens after we get through the pass, it goes into deeper water. And the current is so strong that as it comes through there, it kind of like it back eddies after you get through it. So you're flying along, and then all of a sudden there's just this turbulence, and you kind of spin around. The boat gets really kind of squirrely. And I really hate situations like that, because it's always the land that's the scary part, you know. Out here in the open ocean, I'm not, you know, I feel safe, but whenever I'm near land, especially with strong currents and reefs and weather, squalls, I don't know, I don't feel safe. That's where the trouble happens, you know. It's always safer to go out into open ocean. Almost always safer to head out to open ocean if you get into trouble. So it's nice to be away from that situation this morning. Damn, it goes way out there. The wind came up, likely because of this half squall right here. The rain squall, it's been raining too. But, let's see behind me. So, moving along good now though. After almost coming to a complete stop, I was going 1.5 knots there for a while. Finally sailing on the right course, close hauled. I've been headed all day. I mean, the wind, here's the thing. My course is north of west, about west-northwest, like 280 degrees. The forecast was for southerly winds, actually just east of south. So, whatever that is, 170 degrees. And instead, it's been right on the nose all day. I mean, literally right on the nose. Out of the west, out of due west. So it's been just a battle. I've been running the engine in gear, which is I didn't want it to do. You know, that's the last thing I wanted to do. But finally, I can point a little bit north of my course, and I'm close hauled now. But we're going about 4 knots. There's a current against me too. I haven't figured out the currents through here. I thought on the flood this morning it should have been going with me. Now it's ebbing, but just not much. So I don't know. I'm west of these islands, the Real Islands now, so I'm kind of out in here, and it's a secondary shipping lane, but it's no man's land. I'm not sure what the situation is out here. It poured down rain too, so I managed to get a shower out of it. So that's some positive from the day. But I was really worried I wasn't going to make this anchorage tonight. And I'm also, with the wind out of this direction, I don't know that anchorage is going to be any protection. I was planning on southerly wind. And with a westerly wind, I think I'm open to the west over there. So, but first of all, I got to get there before I can worry about crappy anchorage. There's these killer currents again. I just ran right over the top of a fisherman's net. He's sitting right there and his net's strung out, and I'm, navigating. I look up, I'm right on top of it. He didn't yell or scream or anything. It must have been submerged because I went right over the top of it, keel and all, and didn't catch on me. As soon as I saw it, I put the gearbox into neutral because I didn't want to chop it up. But that was over. I was past it before I stopped. So luckily, it must have been over 6 feet deep. So I didn't catch it. I'm going into this bay. It's not really a bay. It's a channel right now. Man, the current's just whipping me all over the place. I left Moro at 4:15 this morning, trying to catch an hour on the sun. I need to catch this current because it's going to change at like 9 this morning and going to be a knot and a half against me. So I'm trying to make this distance up before that change happens. I've got a 50-mile run today across the Singapore Strait into Malaysia, so big day for me. So see how this goes. I have to I'm motoring because I need to make this speed. There's just no other choice. There's no wind. I could probably drift with this current at a couple knots, but that ain't gonna cut it. 8.5 knots with this current. I'm motoring at 1800 RPMs, and I need to do this. I need to do this because you know what? This is going to reverse, and these 2.5 knots of current are going to be against me at about 9 o'clock this morning. It's about 6:15 right now. So I'm trying to make up as much of this as possible because we're struggling to go 3 knots pretty soon. It'd be nice if I could get up here into the strait before then, because it's not going to be as crucial to cross that going slow. Plus, I think as I get up there, the current goes more east and west than it does north and south. So I may, well, best laid plans, man. This is what I do. I figure this all out and I double check it, and then I still get it wrong. So want to see what the Singapore Strait looks like on the AIS? Check this out. Still about 15 miles away, but see what happens. Civilization. I'm into that Johor Strait now. The wind really picked up in here, though. I would sail, but it's so congested in here. There's crap anchored and boats going in and out, and all kinds of stuff. It's shallow too, and there's buoys all over the place. So I'm sailing, I'm motor sailing, but I'm gonna keep the engine running, just because I want to have that as a backup in case I have to evade something. Well, I made it to Puteri Harbour Marina. Look at me, I'm in a slip. I haven't been in a marina in 4 years, since New Caledonia. Anyway, this is Malaysia. The very first world. Look at this place. Compared to Indonesia, it's like the exact opposite. Anyway, I'm going to stay here about a week, maybe 10 days, just kind of regroup and shop and take care of all the things I need to take care of, and then make my way up the Malacca Strait towards Pangkor and Langkawi, and Phuket, Thailand is the goal for now. So it's all said and done, I made it.